Today is Labor Day, September 7th, and I'm here with Michael Picarelli, some of his closest friends that were with him during his passing. And Michael passed away on August 14th, and we're here to talk about what Michael meant to some of his friends here. We'll start with you, Orlando. You were Michael's roommate.
Yes.
And his prior boyfriend.
Well, a long time ago.
Long time ago. And what's some of the funniest things? What did Michael's friendship mean to you?
Well, again, it meant obviously a whole lot, but since he's not around, a big part of my life is gone because we traveled together. We spoke on the phone 1,000 times a day about foolishness, about everything. We went to the gym together, although you can't see it, but I'd pick him up at Bernal Heights and drive to the gym because that was his routine on the weekends. And we could just talk about everything, but he was so entertaining. And he was the kind of person that I never said, oh my goodness, I didn't want to, God, I have to pick up Michael. It was always a pleasure because he was so entertaining.
That's true, and it seemed like Michael would, the people that Michael loved the most, he would tease the most or torture the most.
Yes.
And it seems like you and Kealoha got the brunt of a lot of his teasing.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Kealoha, you were also boyfriends with Michael.
Yes.
How many years ago was that?
About 14 years ago. Right.
And then you guys, you've known Michael since, 14, 15 years then, your
14,
friendship.
15 years, yeah. We've done a lot together.
And you were with Michael almost every day at the hospital, along with some of the other friends, with Lenny and Orlando and some other friends here. What do you think about Michael now since he's gone?
Well, the thing about, I think a lot of people do not realize that Michael had this side of him, and one of the things that he's done, he was always looking to study, what happens after we die. And we've gone to different places. We've seen we've gone to the Dalai Lama. We went to see the Dalai Lama together. We went to see Amachi together. We went to, just different places. We went to see a psychic. In fact, when we went to see a psychic, the psychic analyzed both of us, and they said the person who has the most spirituality in them was Michael, and I'm the one who had less than he did. And I was like, well, wait a minute, that's not true because I go to church every Sunday. But so Michael had this part that a lot of people didn't realize, that a side of him that he was really searching, in many different ways.
And it seemed like that Michael was, he was a very loyal friend.
Mm-hmm. Very loyal friend. There was times when, I was down in the dumps, so I needed some help. He would just, I would call him and he would give me some good word of wisdom, word of advice. And actually, you would think that he doesn't have that depth, but he does. He really did.
In Orlando, it's like you used to travel with Michael a lot, and sometimes he could be a little pill. He could be,
sometimes he was a big pill.
A big pill. He could be. Michael had his little moments sometimes, but he could be very extreme and very hyper focused on things at times. But he had a really good heart, didn't he?
Well, and also I think that he was like a little star in that wherever we went, he found it so easy to talk to people, and he was so enthusiastic about everything. And he just kind of made everything fun. And even for strangers, he would make things fun. And again, he had that something special about him, that light or that energy that really attracted people.
Right.
And so it was always fun to do things with him. Sometimes stressful doing things with him, and sometimes he was too much. Like when we sat on the plane, I couldn't sit next to him after a while because if I had to get up to the bathroom, because of course he's out in the aisle, he would put his legs like this, so I couldn't, I'd have to kind of go over him, crawl over him, and then he would pinch me, or bring his leg up like that, and then I would trip, and who would look like a fool? Me. And I had to say, if you do that again, I'm going to break that leg. Of course I wouldn't, but he'd do stuff like that. And, but again, that was part of the fun with him.
Michael had a lot of energy, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I always would, when I would see Michael sometimes, I know he had enough energy for 10 people sometimes.
And what he used to tell me is that, since I was he would say even, that I was kind of sleepy all the time, that it really was a good thing because he had so much energy, we kind of balanced out,
Well, you two were like Heckle and Jekyll a little bit, I think.
Or something.
So when you were sleepy.
Right, because again, he said I was even. And I said, what do you mean I'm even?
You were even, okay.
And it was well, nothing impacts you.
But a lot of his friends were pretty even.
Even. and but so he could be the one who's the nut.
Now, Lenny, how long have you known Michael for?
I've known Michael for since about 1984, so 25 years, something like that.
You knew Michael 25 years.
Yeah, close to that, yes.
And you were with him. You were with him in the last days of his life. And how do you feel? What do you miss about Michael the
It's
most?
just more recently. I mean, not since he was in the hospital. I did see him a lot then, but since he's gone now, and one of the things that I think of is when I'm working out, when I go to the gym, and that another thing too. But I'm never going to see him again. I mean, Michael was one of the few people, because when I go to the gym, I usually just want to go and do my thing and get it done with. But if Michael and I would spot each other, it was just, mutual. I think that at least my eyes would light up, and well, so it is. But we kind of get a smile on our face, and immediately just kind of beeline toward each other and start catching up and talking. And there were other things. I mean, clearly back in the '80s. We initially met when he moved in next door, or in the same building that I was living in. And so we have some good stories. There's quite a few good stories of things that happened. And
So Michael was a real character. It boils down to, wasn't he? Lots of personality, lots of character, and he's going to be really missed by all his friends. But at the end, the last couple of days of his life, he was really lucky to be surrounded by such caring and loving friends. And I believe the day that he passed, you guys were all in the room with him when he left.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we all. Yeah, and then other people were with him too, as his passing. So.
Well, okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for giving us a little hint of Michael's life. And let's show us this picture of Michael. This was taken when Michael actually heard about him. We were on Haight Street together, a bunch of us.
A week before he went to the hospital.
And that's Michael we want to remember, and sweet, fun Michael. Right, bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
by
It's like, hey.